Hey Capricorn, thank you guys for being here. Here's your card. This is going to be a general reading so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm going to be doing the Celtic cross spread, which I don't normally do spreads, but I feel kind of called to do it. It ends in a final outcome, and that's kind of why I'm bringing it up, because I'm going to add advice at the end, because I'm pulling for the current energy. If you don't like the final outcome, it doesn't have to be what happens, just you being aware of that, you can change your course, right? And that's kind of what the advice is for, in case that final outcome becomes something that's undesirable, or if it's something desirable, just advice for how to achieve it or something, just kind of flowing with it. So anyway, if your sun doesn't really resonate for your situation, check out your moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury. I just find that certain readers in general end up resonating with different signs. Or just different placements for me. I've gotten some that get my Mars, some get my rising, and so on, So last thing before we get into the reading, I think I'm going to make this a regular thing, but I'm doing that thing again where I'm going to do all the zodiac signs in individual videos, and the sign that gets the most likes, comments, all that, will get an extra or a bonus reading probably in a couple weeks. So if you do like this video, if it resonated for you, let me know if you want that chance for the extra reading. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. We are going to go ahead and get into the reading. Okay, so in the current position representing you, we have the Temperance card. You could have Sagittarius in your chart. You could be buying a Sagittarius. I don't know. How do you do that? Anyway, you could have Sagittarius in your chart. You could be dealing with one. But I just kind of see this as trying to make the best decision, trying to be enlightened, trying to get grounded and understand the predicament that you're in right now, and so that you it's like just trying to understand all sides so you make the best decision moving forward right now. Next position. So the King of Cups is blocking you, or the challenge to this. So I guess that would be you may be having a hard time being empathetic or sympathetic to a situation with someone else. You may be hard for you to compromise with someone else when you don't really understand where they're coming from, and you're trying to, but it's just like, I don't understand you type of thing. Could be dealing with a Pisces, doesn't have to be. It's just you're having trouble understanding the other side. So what's driving you, or what's your influences right now? You're kind of feeling defeated right now, and you want to come out of being defeated, whether that's leaving the situation behind or finding victory in it again. Okay, so for the past position, you got the Magician. That's Gemini or Mercury. It's Mercury card, so it's Gemini or Virgo. But I just kind of see that as being, this was something that you manifested. This was something that filled you with inspiration. This was something that you were really happy to enjoy. You feel like you wanted this situation so bad, and you finally got it. And so I think that's why you're kind of sticking around, trying to understand the other side. Even though you feel defeated, you're trying to make this work. Yeah, and with the goals, you have the Knight of Pentacles. That's Taurus energy. But your goal is to find what works, and to put in that work and be reliable and be steady, and to just put in that effort over and over again, and just you really want to focus in on what the issue is and find the solution and work on it and make this work. You want this to be prosperous, and you want there to be a successful outcome here. So in the near future position, we have the Queen of Wands. You could be dealing with an Aries, and that could be why there's so much friction, because Capricorn and Aries would square each other, right? Both have similar goals, but approaches are differently. So that may be why you are having so much trouble understanding each other. But when I was looking at this, I just heard like reigniting a flame, reigniting a fire. And then when I was looking at, I don't know how well you can see that, but behind her head, it just looks like two people are coming together. And is that a rose? It kind of looks like a rose, some sort of flower in between them. So all this work may end up paying off for you, may end up reigniting this passion and fire here. So you may be on a good path here, what you're doing. So let's go ahead and get to the next position. Okay, so with the Two of Pentacles, or this is not Pentacles, the Two of Swords, in the current approach of this, you may be really in your head, you're trying to balance out everything, you're trying to be fair, you really are, but you're blindfolded here. And you're not in the waters. You're trying to, it's like you're trying to understand the emotions without touching the emotions, right? Like you want to understand what they need emotionally, but you don't want to touch what they need emotionally. It's like you want to make it logical. And it's also like you're shutting out the outside world. You want to come to the conclusion by yourself of what they need. So there's a little bit, you may not purposely be doing this, but it kind of seems like you're not listening. Like you're blindfolded a little bit, you're a little guarded. This could be the conversational approach. This kind of reminds me of like me wanting to work on my communication in therapy. So I'm just going to push this out here. Take it if you want, whatever. Just a little helpful therapy tool is like the nonviolent communication. And it just talks about not blaming the other person and claiming your own emotions. Basically, it kind of gives you an outline for how things, how conversations can go in times like these. And this may be worth looking into to smooth out the conversations with you two, because you may feel blamed in these conversations. So there may be a need for more effective communication. Outside influences, we have the Star. That's an Aquarius card, but I just feel like this is saying, because one of the things with the Star is like that hope, right? I feel like the outside influences is like when people are just like, but you two look so good together. Like, you guys are so good for each other. Like, you keep hearing that. Like, this is such a good situation for you. This is such a blessing. Like, don't mess it up type of thing, right? And that may be why you're working so hard to understand this, to get a better grasp on it. So, the Page of Cups is in the hopes and fears. So, with it being the hopes, you hope that you guys can come together, get along, that you understand each other, come to an understanding, see eye to eye, right? But in the fears, with this being a man and a fish in a cup, the fear is that you just won't get there. Like, you're too different, that you aren't able to communicate, you aren't able to understand each other, and you may have to let them go because you're of land, they're of water, right? That may end up being what it is. Speaking of water, Page of Cups is water in general. Could be dealing with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Don't have to be, just throwing it out there. So with the outcome, we have the Ten of Swords. So you're exhausted. You may feel a little backstabbed. This is something that it may come to an ending, and you're just mentally like exhausted. You need help, and hopefully, like, it just comes to a point of you being done with this. Whether it be a situation or not, it's like you can't keep going on this way type of energy. You may end up, this may be the end of the situation. This may be you coming to a conclusion that you can't, because I'm saying that because of this card, that you can't figure this out on your own. Take it how it resonates. Well, I guess this is the final outcome, so you'll see how it resonates. But like I said, it may just be you figuring out that you can't figure it out on your own. It may end up the whole situation being done, and you just feeling betrayed because you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to put forth this effort, but like I said in this card, I kind of feel like keep going back to this card. It's like one or both of you just, it's like you guys aren't really hearing each other. The communication needs to be worked on, and that's kind of why I threw out that nonviolent communication thing, you can actually Google that, and it has a layout that may or may not be helpful for you. So the cards in your advice position, I actually feel like what I've been saying the whole time, like kind of just throwing out my own advice here. We got the Queen of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Lovers. Like, there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of love in this situation. It's communication issues. You guys need to open up and be more receptive to each other's, to this conversation, and maybe have more efficient, more effective communication techniques, right? Be more diplomatic, be more understanding of each other, be more receptive of how the other's feeling, and I really feel like hammering home that better communication needs to be had. And like I kind of said here, that's not necessarily just you. Like, I feel like most people could use that. Like I said, I went to therapy trying to learn better communication. I totally claim that. Like, I did not grow up with the best means of communication, like knowing how to communicate effectively. So no shame if that's you. You know, I'm not judging you. I feel like a lot of people need to learn better communication. It's just a thing. So Libra's here, also Gemini. Could be dealing with that, don't have to be, could be in your chart. Anyway, guys, this is the end of it. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you like this, go ahead and give a like, comment, and stuff for a chance to get a bonus rating here in about 2 weeks.